What is up, guys? So I haven't been on in quite a while doing any updates on my car. Probably about close to a year now. I have been making progress, actually a ton of progress. I've just been extremely busy with working on my homestead, taking care of tons of animals, um, rebuilding my son's dirt bike, and some other off-road vehicle projects that I've had. Also, my rust bucket of a truck that is about to be upgraded. I need to finally bite the bullet and get a new truck. So where are we at on the car? I can't remember what exactly I had in the last post, but let's start from the back and work forward. So I believe the last time you guys saw, I have the tinted out LED tail lights that are similar to like the newer body style. I think the SN95s with the S550s. They're the S550 body style. So I tried tinting my factory tail lights, and I was not happy with how they came out, and they also came out way too dark. And then I just got these, and I really like them. I swapped out the Cobra R rims for these FR500 staggered set. So now I can run a fatter tire on the back, which I do. We also went from a solid rear axle to a 2003 Cobra IRS. So I do a lot of country driving, which is windy, twisty roads, and I had to get rid of the 410s if I'm running a turbo, because I don't want to be just spinning the tires all the time, which it was doing with a stock engine. So we swapped that out. We got the bumper exit exhaust coming out the side. It was painful, but I did cut the hole in the bumper and put the little guard on there. Looks pretty nice when it's all back together. So we have the 99 Cobra motor, which I believe in the last video I talked about how I put all forged internals, mainly H-beam rods, mainly platinum pistons, I think they were. I got Eagle forged crank in there. Got the 78mm turbo. So we put in the SCT BA 5000 mass airflow sensor with 50-pound injectors and a Aeromotive 325 stealth pump, which is supposed to be rated to 700 horsepower at 40 psi of pressure. So that's with a return style. Since we're not return, they told me I should be pushing around 650 or so with being returnless, which is about where I'm looking for right now with this setup and just getting used to the car, because going from 300 wheel horsepower to 650 is going to be a hell of a difference in this car. Plus I took a lot of weight off of it by putting the tubular K-member in. We have the aluminum textured block, which I think it's an 80-pound difference with just swapping the blocks, and I think it's another like 40 pounds with the K-member out of there. That's a pretty decent amount, but I do think I added some weight in the rear by putting the IRS in there, because it was definitely a lot heavier to move around than the solid rear axle. Interior is pretty much done, opposed to needing a roll cage and some 4-point harnesses. I used that vinyl paint for interiors and it came out awesome. The only downside I have is that airbag right there. The airbag, when it would dry, it just kept crinkling and cracking and just peeling off because I think it's more of like a rubbery substance that the airbag's made out of. So I hit up my buddy who I got a lot of my Cobra parts from, and he had a 99 Cobra airbag, which I also picked up the 99 Cobra ECU because my tuner recommended that to make a nice tune for it, opposed to trying to calibrate the 99 GT ECU for a 99 Cobra tune. Everything's just all kosher and matches up now. We got the 99 or the 0304 Cobra steering wheel. Got all of our gauges, and the steering wheel's locked. All blue. So I had the white overlay with the reverse glow put in, and it did not have the SVT on there, so I installed that so it looks more like a Terminator setup. That's about it for the interior. Everything's all wired up. We got boost gauge, wideband, oil pressure, temp sensor. So interior's done. I had a funny story with the 99 ECU. So for anybody that might be doing a 4-valve swap, this is a cool fun fact that I discovered on my own, because I was having difficulty finding a 99 Cobra engine harness, because what I've read, the pin layout from the harness going to the harness that goes to the ECU, the pins are different from a Cobra to a GT harness or a V6 harness for that matter. So I had a 99 GT harness, which was originally from the 99 GT swap that I put in the car after I bought the car with the V6 in it. I have the harness hooked up to the 99 Cobra ECU, and for shits and giggles I decided to try starting it up with everything plugged together with the whole 99 GT wiring. Just swapped out the 99 Cobra ECU. Things started right up, ran perfectly. I was quite surprised, and from everything I read, it shouldn't. The pinning should be different, and it should not run. So for anybody out there that is looking to swap I'm not sure if it'll work with a 2001 Cobra, but if you're using a 99 Cobra ECU, you can use the whole 99 GT harness. I'm assuming that year they just did all the wiring the same and just swapped out the computers, and obviously the coil packs are longer and the few other wires are longer on the Cobra motor compared to the GT. So that's a cool fact, that if anybody out there is looking to do a swap, hopefully that helps you out, saves you a couple bucks. You just run to, well, if you're running something newer than a 99, I'm sure you could probably use a 99 harness from like the junkyard or something and hook it up to your harness. Well, I'm not sure. It might all work, but back to the build. So we upgraded the radiator. I don't know if you can see it very well, to a all aluminum. I'm not sure the brand, but it's all aluminum. It's a lot thicker than factory one. Turbo blankets on there, downpipe and out. I put coilovers in it. I don't think I put that in the last video. Got our intercooler all hooked up, all plumbed in. We're currently not running a blow-off valve because when I started running the car to break it in, I noticed that the blow-off valve would not close. Even when you got higher up in vacuum, or lower in vacuum, it still would not close. And I went to swap out the spring, and I went to reinstall it and broke off the V-band. So currently we're running without a blow-off valve, which is alright for now. I know you guys are going to be like, oh, you're putting so much strain on the turbo. Well, I've done my research, and it doesn't put as much strain on the turbo as everybody says it does. So you guys can piss off. It's my build, not yours. We're also in the midst of installing a catch can because we don't have anything connected to our valve covers right now. I think we're going to put it somewhere in this region. Not sure yet. So that's about all my updates for now. Oh, opposed to a couple issues I had when I was going to the dyno. So we were supposed to go to the dyno like 3 weeks ago. So I swapped out the injectors for my 50 pounders and I installed the mass airflow sensor the day before I went to the dyno because my tuner said that you can't run it until I flash the computer for those upgrades. And so the day before, I swap everything all out, get to the dyno, which is an hour and a half away. I'd have my buddy trailer it up there for me. And he gets it all programmed for a bass tune, and it's like missing and not running right. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I literally had this thing running perfectly the day before I swapped this stuff out. And he's like, I can't tune it. If it's missing like that, we're leaning out in one of the cylinders. Something bad is going to happen if we try running this on the dyno. So I get home after spending $100 in gas to get my car up there and don't even get tuned. At least I got a base tune, so now I can run the car. But I get home, pull everything apart after I sprayed the intake all down to see if I had any intake leaks because all the connections were good. I was getting spark. I was getting fuel to the fuel injectors. But I found a vacuum leak when I sprayed everything down with some starter fluid. And it was right around one of the injectors, so I was assuming it was just the intake was leaking because they are kind of a little bit older intake gaskets that I have on there. They were from when I originally put the engine together. And I pull the intake off, all the gaskets are good, look underneath to see how the injector's seated up, and I found this little guy. See that? Split in half. Yeah, he was jammed in there sideways and bulging out the side, and it was ripped, causing a vacuum leak into the cylinder there, causing it to lean out because my wideband was leaning out at idle, and my tuner's like, it shouldn't be doing that, and the steering wheel's shaking a lot. And I'm like, it was not doing this the day before. So swapped the O-ring out, got it seated properly, and the thing ran great. So now I'm at the point of just doing some trial runs around the block, just making sure everything's running smoothly, got any leaks or anything. And I'm noticing when it gets up to running temperature, I'm losing oil pressure. So let's backtrack to building the engine. Everything is brand new in this engine. Everything was up to spec, everything was good, except for the oil pump. The oil pump was the original oil pump. It was out of 99 Cobra motor. I think it had like 80,000 miles on it. I'm assuming that's what failed. We currently have brand new Ford Performance high output oil pump to go in it. That's next on the list of priorities for this car. literally I have the Manly H-beam rods, Manly Platinum flat top pistons, Eagle forged crank, all brand new valve lash adjusters. Everything's new in this. What else is there? Got King bearings in it for the bottom end. There's a lot of money in this engine, and I don't know why I felt that I could save a buck and cut a corner and not change the oil pump, but it's a learning experience for me that if you're going to build an engine, build the engine right and put everything brand new in it. Don't try to cut a corner, because your weakest point is going to fail on you, and that was my weakest point. So now we're at the point of swapping that oil pump out, making sure that it's holding oil pressure when it's up to temp, and we're going to go back to the dyno and hopefully put down about 600 horsepower to the rear wheels. That's the goal. So stay tuned with me and give you some more updates, and maybe we'll do a video on the actual install of the oil pump. I'm not dropping the engine, I'm going to pull the valve cover off, and we're just going to unbolt the feed, or the pickup tube from the oil pump, and we're going to pull the oil pump out of the front, because I really don't want to take all the turbo stuff off, drop the K-member, do all that, just to swap something that I can most definitely get in there and do. And I got the damn Challenger out there going off in my pocket because my keys are bumping against the bumper. Don't mind that. Fucking Challenger has all sorts of electrical issues. I'm not bashing Dodge or anything, but a car with 80,000 miles on it shouldn't be burning out the climate control module, or having gone through 10 keys because their keys suck. So yeah, we also installed a aluminum drive shaft out of Cobra in this. Also, potentially picking up a T56 transmission out of a Cobra for it. Not sure if I want to pull the trigger on that or not. I've dumped a lot of money in this car this year, and we're very close, but we're running out of good weather very quickly. So let's show the taillights. I don't know how I feel about the LEDs at the bottom, but I really do like the S550 look of those. Well, that's about all I have for you right now. Like I said, I will get back to you when I start ripping the timing cover off and swapping that pump out. I'll get you guys a video of that later.